He's interesting, but that's like he's wired like an artist. He's also extremely self-indulgent and a little disconnected from reality.
Oh, man, I like my tacos with ketchup. Don't be coming over my house talking about my tacos look whack.
He's improving the world somehow by designing $1,000 sneakers.
What's wrong with that? You keep taking shots at the sneakers or clothing. That can make an impact.
Because
you get your resources
can make an impact
up.
because it's very profitable. It's an impact for him.
And that's resources.
There's something I don't like about the commercialism and self-enrichment on the one hand, branded as helping the world on the other. But it's kind of like Silicon Valley.
That's not Final Destination, though.
Silicon Valley sends this idea up all the time. Like every startup and every company in Silicon Valley has to make the world a better place. When really what they mean is enrich themselves.
Well, that's not true, Max, because the Final Destination is not as clothing. It's what can probably come from that gives them other opportunities to do what you really want to do. Like
that's not what I took from his meaning.
Well, I think it's a means to an end, just like playing football. You know what? If I took an honest poll of how many football players in the NFL really want to play football,
right?
Like really want to play, it's not 100%.
That's what's available to
it's what gets you to the next place. And I think Kanye is like, look, these clothes gonna give me.
No, that's not what he said. He made.
Well, that's not what he said.
He made an equivalency between DiCaprio's interest in the environment, and his interest in designing clothing, and how that shouldn't be belittled because he remembers when he was a kid, he wanted a fresh outfit.
Yeah.
And then what, Kanye? Because the $60 sneakers are $1,500 to get, and they go to celebrities first to pump up that market. Like I understand.
But he also said before getting the fresh fit, he wanted a fit that turned into the fresh fit. Like I want a fit. I'm a broke. Now I want the fresh fit. Now it's like I want to supply the fresh fits, and then full circle. Now I could give all you guys any fit,
right,
and fresh fits.
If
broke people get fresh fits.
If his
end circle,
if his meaning is that self-expression, even whether it's designing clothes or whatever, is an end unto itself and doesn't need to be, like, if you want to judge it morally, it makes the world a more interesting place to live in because it makes it more beautiful or more interesting, whatever. I agree with that. I do agree with that. But it's always tinged with him in some way, and he did it this time again on Ellen, that he is somehow being misunderstood and sacrificial
every time,
and that he serves some greater social, higher social calling, and that when in fact he's talking about designing clothes, and that's cool. I like the clothes that he makes. But
only thing I have issue with is that you're picking the wrong part of the timeline to do the evaluation of what his consciousness is. It's like he's not where he wants to be, but you're like, so all you're doing is selling shoes. And you're like, well, let me finish selling these shoes.
I'm not saying all that he's doing. I'm saying to couch that in a way that is somehow kind of using moral language and talking about how people are misunderstanding each other and couching it in kind of social justice language is that, to me, seems very self-serving when in fact it's a piece of commerce. It's also a piece of art, but it's a piece of commerce. And so fine, it can make the world more interesting and it can enrich people's lives that way, but I don't really know what that has to do with social justice or some kind of greater sacrifice on his part.
What about Tom shoes, that every time you buy a Tom shoes, they give a free one away?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but that's just shoes. But that's what their social consciousness is.
That's nice, but that's not Kanye.
Well, Kanye's trying to...
Tom didn't say anything about this. Kanye did.
I think he's trying to get there, but I think in the middle of the movie, it's hard to say how good it is.
Kanye West is an excellent artist.
No, you don't, because you don't even like his lyrics. You already said it 1,000 times.
I don't dislike his lyrics.
I
think they're overrated. His music, I'm talking about.
We're going to fight.
I think he's an overrated lyricist, though he's good, and he's he's really a great producer of music. But that's it. That's all he is. He's a great artist in that way. He's not changing the world or saving humanity.
You know what's funny?
He makes good music.
All right, I knew Kanye before he blew up, before the car accident, but through a friend.
I don't mean that's all he is. Of course, he's a human being. No, what I mean is I understand he's a three-dimensional person.
I don't
want to discount his humanity.
Try and clean it up.
But he's not changing the world in some profound way.
Don't clean it up, because I remember when they was telling that dude. I remember now, we've all heard the stories on albums, but I knew it like in person. Like the dude was going to Disneyland. And I remember him talking about like he couldn't even get on. Like he couldn't even get to flex. People were like, you never going to be. And you know what? And I'm a person that's hurt. You never were going to be. And I laugh because I'm like, now look at Kanye.
So he's inspirational because he made it.
Dude.
But that's nothing. Marcellus, that's a common story. He's inspirational because he came from nothing.
It's not a common experience?
And he Okay, but how does that make him like he's not?
Why you want to suppress somebody who can fly away?
I'm not suppressing anyone.
Why would you want to do that? That's a mean
I'm
spirit.
commenting on him.
All right.
He is an excellent artist.
Has he exceeded your expectations from day one?
I didn't have any expectations from him.
Okay. Well, in his world, do you think he has?
Maybe. Of course he has.
Stop.
Look. The point is none of that is really relevant to this conversation. What I'm saying is
because it doesn't support your point.
No, because
right.
you try to turn every Kanye conversation into that conversation because that's what you find interesting.
But you want to minimize the guy.
I'm not minimizing him at all. I'm saying Kanye
West, or Max Kellerman. Who you want?
Kanye West.
Who you want?
Kanye West is an excellent artist, a great artist.
Beyond.
That is what he is. He's not changing the world in any profound way other than his music is really good. You'd like to listen to it. And I find this I find this with a lot of artists, and particularly with musicians for some reason.
Let them live.
Particularly music, like it's always like, my music's going to change the world.
Michael Jackson changed the world. He ain't changed your world. Michael Jackson changed my world. I ain't gonna lie.
Michael Jackson enriched the world by making good music. How did
I wouldn't
he
have
change
made it through some times without Mike. I ain't gonna lie.
I would have been just fine without Michael Jackson, but I like him.
All right. Well,
like, why are people trying to make it bigger than it is?
Because you don't have that emotional connection. That's okay.
No, I think it's because
it's okay.
I think it's because people don't develop good enough inner lives, and so they attach themselves to celebrity artists in particular, and then talk about an outsized importance in terms of the way their art influenced them because they take up an outsized position in the person's psyche because they don't have very rich inner lives.
Whatever makes Max feel bigger in his world by not attaching to anything outside his world. Do you, Max? I ain't mad.